This week's episode of Appreciate the Process is brought to you by Novig. Actually, no, it's called Bet the Process. You'll get that joke if you listen to it, but we're brought to you by Novig, which is the best sports prediction market out there. And if you want to get a bonus there and you're a listener, you can go to BTP. They have great golf markets coming up, although Rufus will not comment on them because apparently he doesn't comment on anyone's golf markets or golf analytics. We will have Jacob Fortinsky at some point down the line, who is the founder of Novig, and he can tell us about all the exciting stuff that's happening over there. But this week it's just me and Rufus and Tom Peabody, who is the better half of the Peabody Brothers. I think Rufus would readily admit that. And so with that, let's start the process. Welcome to another episode of the Bet the Process podcast. It's a new tradition, unlike any other, except what we did last year. So that's why it's a tradition. I get
the year before.
Right. It's like a tradition. That's why it's tradition. I get the Peabody Brothers over to chat about Super Bowl. And I feel like this is the first year that it's like God, I didn't even think about that. You literally went to Scottsdale during Super Bowl week. Is that unheard of?
No, I mean, there's always the lull before actual Super Bowl Sunday, because back in the old days, the first week we were betting openers, and then there was kind of this lull, and we waited for the public to bet overs so that we had good unders, and then we would bet on Super Bowl weekend. But this time we just bet only on Super Bowl weekend.
So I think everybody wants to know, like, did you guys do better than Zilbow or not?
How did Zilbow Baggins do?
I have no idea. That was a joke. It's called a joke, Todd. It's called a joke. How did you guys do?
We made a profit. I think I can find our...
It was a tale of two halves.
It was the tale of the third quarter, or the first three quarters, and then the fourth quarter. So I'll say first off that we had most of our volume in Kalshi by a mile. Like, Vegas was such small potatoes comparatively speaking. And
stop for a second though. Like, what was the volume size compared to past Super Bowls overall?
It was more, I would say.
Well, you would say that if you were like,
I'll put it this way: we had $4 million in play on Kalshi.
But I think part of that is, like, in Vegas, you're not necessarily going to go buy a bunch of tickets for bridge jumper type of stuff and lay a bunch of guys. And we can do that on Kalshi a lot more easily. So I feel like we had a lot of laying guys where.
Well, so I'll tell you what was so painful about the fourth quarter. Well, first off, we had a bet. We risked 150,000 on the no touchdown. At 99 cents. So we bet 150,000 or whatever it is, like 148,500 to win 1,000, something like to win 1,500. Yeah. Like one to like minus 9,900. Okay.
Then there would be a touchdown in the game.
So going to the fourth quarter, I'm like, I would like there to be a touchdown at some point. But then when there was a touchdown, I realized that it was our greatest liability on the no on first touchdown was on AJ Barner. Overall, we had over $1 million risked on anytime touchdown bets and another 700,000 on first touchdown. And the first touchdown one, our biggest liability aside from AJ Barner was 50,000 contracts, and we had 100,000 contracts against Barner. So basically, we lost like 90 something thousand there, and we had another like 50,000 against him scoring a touchdown overall. So we lost, 50 grand there. And then our biggest position on the Super Bowl overall was no defensive or special teams touchdown. We had 150,000 risked on that. And obviously the interception fumble, it was initially ruled a fumble and changed to an interception, which...
Did that matter?
It did, because we had under 1.5 fumbles lost and under 1.5 interceptions. So it was just which one of those loses. But then separately, we had bet Seattle no defensive or special teams touchdown for like $95,000 risked also. So basically, like, we went from looking like the Kalshi balance was up like 700,000 on the game going into the fourth quarter, and it ended up like up maybe 200,000. So yeah, it
Off
was,
a base of 4 million roughly.
yeah. So I mean, we ended up like, I don't know, I mean, like a 5% profit or something like that.
But it's one of those things where like
Maybe a little more.
because of the order in which things happened, at the end we were very sad. You know.
But I will say, like, unlike other Super Bowls, maybe it didn't feel like as big of a deal, just because it's, I don't know. I mean, I guess relative to what we're doing on a week to week basis, like, yeah, 4 million in volume is nice, but it's not like back in the day, it used to be so much more volume than any other week.
And now it's like a college basketball Saturday,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Well, but that has nothing to do with the game. That has to do with your operation.
That has to do with our sort of expectation of it and how much pressure we feel.
So is that kind of
It.
nice then to like, this is almost like a fun little vacation from college basketball grind and a way to get a bunch of money down and a more, I mean, grinding college basketball totals is that's something. As someone that is tangentially involved with you guys, I know that is something.
I mean,
I was still doing that this weekend. There's no break from that.
Tom has his computer open right now and is dealing with people messaging him. I mean, just in case stuff comes in.
One of his runners is probably going to text him in a second and say, "Hey, you guys got anything for me today soon?" You're going to send it to
Probably
him.
Jeff.
Say,
Damn it, Jeff! I'm literally on a podcast.
You're going
Can
to
you
say, "Send it
approve
to me."
re-triggers
Like,
if they come in?
sorry, sorry, I'm on a podcast right now, Tom. I can't do them. It's like, well, you just asked me for him. It's like, all right, whatever.
How was it for you, Jeff?
What
the game? I mean, as a Patriots fan, especially.
It was just a weird year, to be honest. Like, I expected so little from this team. And this is probably the only game that I really was very emotionally invested in it, right? Because obviously like the games leading up to it in the AFC were, especially the last one, were somewhat anticlimactic, meaning like you just like when Stidham went out and like they just kind of had everything laid out in front of them. And this one was like this moment where you're like, holy shit, they could win the Super Bowl. Like that would be ridiculous if they won the Super Bowl, and I feel like this Super Bowl didn't have like a ton of hype compared to a lot of other Super Bowls leading up to it. Like I didn't feel like there was a ton of hype personally. And even that as a Patriots fan. And then just the game was obviously like really disappointing. I mean, I think it was disappointing from my perspective in a lot of ways, meaning they weren't, in my mind, they weren't really out of it until that first May turnover, and even really weren't out of it until the second May turnover, meaning like they scored to go down 19-7. And for what
did it really feel like they had a chance at that point?
That's what I was about to.
It felt like Seattle was in.
That's what I was about to say. I was saying they weren't, like, if you looked at the game, right, like the score of the game and the game state and the time, they weren't out of it for a long time. But yes, they did feel out of it. You did feel drawing dead. But even like with that, even when they were down 19-7, which who knows why Vrabel didn't go for two, right? Like there's no explicable reason why he shouldn't have gone for two.
Well, I was happy he didn't, but
there's no reason.
That was another thing we lost. No 2-point conversion attempt in the fourth quarter. Although we
Rufus, explain to me, as someone that doesn't have a bet on that, why he shouldn't have gone for two.
No, I think now that I think about it, I hadn't thought about it, but yes, it because then, well, I mean, 60, like
even if he doesn't get it, it's
8-8-3 is what you're saying, right?
What's that?
8-8-3,
19-8. Right, 19-8.
Right, no, but the whole point then to get to 19-8 and 8-3.
Yeah, 8 and 8 and 3. Well, otherwise it's 6 and 7 and 7. You're still fine. Right? Yeah. It's not. There's almost like no downside to going for that one at that point. And then, but even still, like that pick that he threw to Jordan Love or whatever that guy was. That guy was open. Whoever he's throwing to was open. It was just a bad pass.
Wait, no. That pass, I don't know if he missed that by a mile though.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was a terrible pass, but he was. I think he was open. I mean, I who knows what really would have happened, but like that's a pass that Drake May has made all season, right? Like that's the thing he's been really good at are these long passes. So, I mean, it's just disappointing. I mean, I think it's mostly disappointing because like everyone looks back on that game and feels like the Patriots were drawing dead and shouldn't have been there and one of the worst Super Bowl teams ever, blah, blah, blah. But, they forget that what was last year's Super Bowl, 40-6 or whatever. And like it was pretty bad.
But those were two good teams. But look, can I make an analogy? And I'm curious if you feel the same way. From what you said, it feels like how I felt about the Orioles in 2023. When they won the division, nobody expected that. And they got swept by the Rangers, but it felt like the beginning of something. And I just had so much appreciation and gratitude for the experience they gave me, right? Like,
because Orioles were a better team, relatively speaking, than the Patriots.
Yeah, the Orioles ended up being
the Orioles were a good team from an analytics perspective, right?
But Patriots were not. They were coming off of. Well, I mean, 2022, they took a step forward, and did they have a winning record? They were in contention at the end of August, early September.
I think they didn't, but they.
And that was sort of, and then they still were predicted to like win, I don't know, 78 games or something like that, 80 games, like, and everything kind of fell into place. Yeah. And then, and you kind of hope that you're going to be able to repeat that.
I mean, that's the thing. I think, as silly as this sounds, I think my opinion of that Super Bowl will change based on how they do into this year. Like if they build on that and they make the playoffs and they, even if they don't go as far, but they seem like they're still like a here to stay, I'll feel okay about that Super Bowl. It would be like, so.
Did you listen? I listened to Kevin Clark, our friend Kevin Clark, Bet the Process, 3x Bet the Process podcast guest, I believe.
Tradition like any other, except for this one.
Yeah, one of my favorite guests. He basically said the Patriots are going to be kicking themselves because, like, this is the year where, with no Mahomes, basically, they didn't have to face Josh Allen in the playoffs. Joe Burrow, like basically the AFC is normally so stacked. Like the Ravens had a down year. It was kind of the year that it was wide open, and he kind of doesn't see that.
Well, why are they going to be kicking themselves? I mean, they made.
Well, I know, but they're going to be kicking themselves for how they played in the game. Drake May, like,
I don't think May was healthy. I think that's the reality. Like they say, he got shot up beforehand. He was missing.
But Sam Darnold wasn't had the oblique thing the entire postseason too. So
I didn't see any signs of Sam Darnold being hurt.
Okay, but do you mean signs based on results? Because I mean, it's impossible then to tell if it was the injury. But
Sam Darnold seemed to play just like he always plays. Drake May played very differently. Now there were conditions.
Well, he didn't handle the pressure very well. I think that's, at least this is what I think Chris Collins, right? Right, the pass rush, right? He wasn't. If he had a thing in his shoulder, that's not going to affect your sort of mobility in the pocket. And it just felt like
No, but I mean, like part of the reason the pass rush was what it was is because they were constantly in situations where they could get rushed because he was missing very early passes that were there. There was again, like my theory will be that he was hurt and Campbell was hurt. I don't know if that would have mattered enough to really matter, but I think it was a convergence of a lot of things. It's not an excuse; it's reality. They got their ass beat. I thought I was really I felt good about how their defense played generally. I think that there's some really good players on their defense that are going to be with the Patriots for a long time. Like that Woodson guy, the safety they got in the 4th round looks really good, and Gonzalez is awesome, right? I mean, if I told you that JSN was going to have 30 yards or whatever he had, you'd be like, oh, the Patriots are going to do great. But Kenneth Walker looked like one of the best running backs I've ever seen. I mean, he looked so good.
He looked very good, although he's, as David Al told us, not a great blocker. But
he does look like Ashton.
And as Chris Collinsworth said during the game, he said that Kenneth Walker can't block and can't catch. But he's good at running the ball. I mean, you saw he was not very good he dropped, I think he dropped 2 balls that he probably should have caught.
Yeah,
And
I
we
mean,
were on Kenneth Walker under receiving, and he got that. He did get over, sadly.
yeah. I mean, I only took two prop bets of any. I mean, I took the Holani bet, which I didn't win, but
I by the way, I bet that as well because I made it 25 to 1 or 24.5 to 1, and I was able to get it at like 28 to 1.
got it.
I was a big fan of that bet.
Yeah.
You you,
What's
you know
that?
what? I was pro Travion Henderson as well. Were you a Travion Henderson guy?
I was, but I didn't bet anything just because I thought like there was only ups. Like you're buying him on the at the bottom, basically of like of the like the split, whatever that was like the worst that it had ever been. Like everyone was so down on him, so I figured there was only upside there.
Well, I thought one interesting thing, like the markets for player to have the most rush yards, player to have the most receiving yards were very interesting because both of those were markets were skewed towards one player. You had JSN and then you had Kenneth Walker. And I,
Who had most receiving yards?
Matt Collins, who we actually bet at like 3% or 4% on Kalshi.
Wow.
But we had bet we filled somebody actually on it, like someone offered 120,000 contracts on no for Travion Henderson most rush yards in the game. I think it was at 5%, and we took the yes there for the entire thing, just because it was one of those situations where like you could see him if Walker didn't have a big game and the Patriots had the lead and you had more of an even split or Travion like getting the carries he did mid to late season before Ramondre kind of took over. Like I thought there was a lot of uncertainty in the usage, but the split, what the usage split would be between Ramondre and Travion.
So
So
Travion play at the tails.
yeah, right. I mean, like it was a bet on the tails. I mean, it's the same thing. Like I had a bet on like Rashid Shaheed 50 plus receiving yards, even though my projection on him was pretty low, but like he's a highly variant guy. And so but I think
Did you guys do much on any of the other markets like Polymarkets or Novig?
Not
I don't
really.
think there was, yeah.
There
There's
wasn't
not enough
much on it.
volume on those places.
We're in Nevada, so we can't do no vig.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know
They're
that.
still sponsoring this podcast.
Polymarket was.
I know. I mean, I'm happy they're sponsoring it, but I was sad that we were in. I meant more like I had this tone of I know, but that was more about the fact that I'm in Nevada and wasn't able to use Novig because honestly,
How's
if
Novig's golf stuff? Is their golf stuff good?
I'm not going to comment on their golf stuff. I don't comment as a policy. I don't comment on golf.
But they have a lot of golf markets, I assume.
They have outrights. Yeah, I know
Matchups?
they have matchups. They have outrights. They have top tens, top 20s. Yeah,
I love
You
that.
guys-
I think there's decent volume.
Well, it's good because I was thinking about trying to ask you about being on my panel, my golf panel at Sloan. But knowing now that you don't comment on anything golf, it'd be really bad.
But we're not
Wait,
gonna
wait, you have a golf panel? I want to hear all
the
about this.
team is not going to let Rufus go and do any more media appearances. We've decided it's a policy.
What is this?
He's
Is this a
leaking
media
alpha.
appearance?
Well, he can do his own podcast. That's fine because he gets to edit it and choose what comes out. Though I don't think he does.
Order filled on
And
PGA.
he can't help himself from himself, right? That's the problem. He
That
just
is-
gets
that is
going
the
and he just
problem.
wants to prove how smart he is. It's a smarty pants. My golf panel it's in flux right now. Claire Rogers is going to be on it for sure.
Ooh,
There's no
oh,
Claire
nice.
Rogers.
I like her.
Yeah, she's entertaining. Someone from the PGA, I think, is on it, and then we're trying to figure it out. I think I'm gonna. I mean, who would you guys say would be? It's going to be obviously. It's kind of like talking about the impact of analytics on golf and like the fan experience, whatnot. Who would you guys want as the analytics person on this?
The analytics on the fan experience, or
No. I mean, like, but
I mean, there's a lot of good
analytics
options
people
out there.
I mean, I think the answer is obvious. I think it's got to be the data golf, like Matthew Courchene.
I think you could
trying
have
to say
you
that.
could have data golf. I mean, I think there's a lot of people you could have though. You could have like a Joe Lamagna.
I mean, I suggested Joe because I just think he's fascinating, but like, I think that the Matthew is the impact that data golf has had on golf is
Yeah.
huge, right? And golf coverage and everything. And so
They're like they're the Ken Palm basically, right? They've like kind of revolutionized how people kind of look at it in a certain way. Um,
the only difference is that literally people only care about Ken Palm for like 3 weeks of the year, whereas people care about
well,
data.
that's not true. College basketball bettors care about it every week. There's basketball.
But the college basketball betting is like niche. I mean,
That's
we know.
I mean, so is golf betting. There's
No,
college basketball betting.
if you listen to a non-betting sports golf podcast like No Laying Up, they will reference data golf all the time. Oh, everyone's referencing data golf. I feel like in golf, even if it's betting or not betting related.
Hold on, Jeff. We have to figure out if we want to. We have 55,000 contracts filled on the Georgia Florida money line. Okay, yeah. We already have a full position. We don't need more. Sorry. We had a order.
Someone
we had
came
to
in.
approve if we want. We got filled. We had to approve if we wanted to repost basically for more volume.
So who are you betting on, Georgia or Florida? Inquiring minds want to know. Oh, you don't even know. You're just like looking.
I mean, we can say we were on Georgia.
I love it. Okay.
At what price? 21 cents.
I don't know how to do that. Oh, 21 cents. So that's a great money line, huh?
Yeah, that was a money line. That's what I was saying.
What else? What did you guys think of Waste Management? Is that your first time there?
Yeah. No, it was my first time there for a non-practice round.
Okay.
The first time there, I was with Michael Collins inside the ropes, and it was a really fun experience.
You guys were on a suite on 16.
We were in the loge,
right by the tee box, basically.
It was cool. Yeah. I actually thought that the best part about the loge, though, and where we were, was that you could actually see the approaches into the green on 15, the par 5. Mm-hmm. And we were there Thursday, and it was quite windy, and 15 was playing into the wind. So basically, everybody was laying up, except I think maybe 2 guys. We saw Jake Knapp actually hole out an eagle from off the green. He had, there's that sort of false front because the 15th green is an island. We were on the first,
the lowest. Then there's
the lowest
another above
level.
it, and then the skybox or whatever. So we're the lowest.
Yeah, but I kind of liked you had a great view of the 15th green and actually watching those approaches and watching the chips and putts that you don't really get on 16 from the tee box there because and I think 15.
How long did you guys stay? How long did you guys stay at the event for?
We were there till 5 o'clock or so, and then we went to Pop Stroke. Nice.
So you guys stayed Thursday night, went back Friday?
We did.
Yeah. I will say my take on Waste Management was just and a couple of people told me who've been a lot is it wasn't, players are less fun about it. I mean, I get that it was Thursday, but there was nobody was hamming it up on the tee at all. One dude pretty much, Joel Damon put on a Seahawks helmet. A couple who was it? Keith Mitchell. Keith Mitchell got the crowd going, but most guys are just it's it's a business. I get that, but it was a little disappointing in that people were not very fun. But I know that it probably gets a lot better on the weekend or whatever.
You know who we saw? So we went. Tom and I took a little walk around the golf course, and we saw 13, 14, 15, and we actually followed Michael Kim group around there. And I wanted to say hi to Michael, but then I was we actually have a bet on him, and I don't want to throw him off his game.
Maybe he would be so inspired.
I was I don't know if he'd actually even recognize.
He actually DM'd me at one point asking.
He's I saw Rufus.
Yeah, he was oh my God, does Rufus really look like Sabonis? He kind of looks like Sabonis, like a poor man Sabonis. No, Michael texted me about trying to help him find a place to practice in Scottsdale.
Really?
And I was like,
Pop Stroke.
This is not a great sign if he's trying to ask us.
We saw him hit, it was on 13 on Thursday. He missed the fairway left in the fairway bunker, and we saw him, he had a long iron, and he was 270 out according to ShotLink from the pin. And he hit it hit in the front bunker. And it was just amazing to watch, it was just it was a majestic iron shot. I don't know another way to say it. Yeah. They're very good.
I think that Waste Management is just, it's such a incredible sight to see when you walk in there and you just see that, Coliseum that they basically build and just everything about it. I love it. I mean, I think the weather is insane. Like it just feels fun to be walking around. No, I don't think I go there more than one day really. Like, and what, who I met was Bo Hostler because he was selling
Oh,
coffee and it's called Barista Coffee. So
He was
is that a
selling
joke or
coffee.
no?
no, he has a coffee brand called Barista.
Damn, hard times
And
for
and
Bo Hostler.
John Pace, who you guys met at our dinner, my CMO, he
Mhm.
helps Bo with his stuff. So
His
So
coffee.
Bo's hedging against his golf career.
Damn, that's good to know.
well,
I mean, if he doesn't believe in himself, how can we believe in him?
no, I think he's passionate about coffee. Like why
That's
can't people
cool. I
have
mean,
other?
Tom's passionate about coffee too.
Maybe you can get involved with Barista.
I should at
They
least.
brought that. They have a trailer, and in the trailer, the trailer was on Waste Management property, and they had just brought it from Tory also. And I mean, he's a member at Whisper Rock. My buddy John works for him for rounds at Whisper Rock. So
Was Bo even an alternate or just
I think he was fifth alternate. He
okay?
didn't.
So
How does the PGA let him bring his own coffee company around on tour? Like that seems like a huge conflict of interest.
what's the conflict of interest?
Well,
What does the PGA
every-
control there?
I'm just saying every golfer could just start being like, oh, I'm going to start selling my stuff.
Well, he has to pay like a vendor. It's not like he's just
Yeah.
bringing it in his.
Okay,
It's not like
I
he's
thought
like,
they were like,
hey, I'm
"Sure,
going to stop
Bo."
on the first tee. Anyone want some coffee?
Yeah.
He's got like a lemonade stand.
His caddy's just holding coffee like Rodney
Yeah.
Dangerfield from Caddyshack.
I agree with you though, Jeff. I think it's a good, like having been to a few, I haven't been to that many golf tournaments, but I always find it to not be the best viewing experience. And I feel like, especially on 16, that was cool. And then just walking around, like you can get between holes pretty easily through the
The
desert.
desert. It's nice.
It's not you don't feel like you're trapped in like, oh God, I have to go all the way back around to get to this hole. So yeah, I thought it was great. I would go back.
I thought it was a great viewing experience. We had some like the one hole we kind of got familiar with too, aside from like 15 and 16 was 14, which was a really tough hole that day, playing into the wind, dogleg left. But we saw Johnny Kiefer hole out from the rough, like 160, 170 yards out, maybe even a little longer. But we were both kind of disappointed at the lack of reaction, the lack of, from the crowd there. Because I mean, there weren't that many people. It was on a Thursday morning walking around, like even late Thursday morning. But we got up close and personal with long time a guy that I supported for a long time in the betting markets, EVR, who hit a drive.
EVR almost came to our dinner on Thursday.
I know, you told me, and then he hit a drive on 14 that was left of the bunkers, hit the cart path, and went into the desert. But he ended up in a really having only 130 out. Or it was what was so interesting though, because I was right over there by it and hearing the conversation with him and his caddy about it, and he was like, "What do you like about 129-ish? Yeah, something like that."
We'll get EVR on this podcast.
That would be amazing.
I'm
a big EVR fan.
I promise you that. And he's got like a wonderful accent. So
he does.
He goes by Fred.
He does.
Where does he get the nickname Fred? He goes by Fred Van Bruin. No, that's his like Twitter, and somebody called him that when we were out there. I don't know. Maybe he has two names. He's an alias.
How did you guys do in the tournament?
Poorly.
We lost. Well, because Goddard won, and we had laid Goddard up pre-tournament now, and he had that great first round, but then he came back. Well, I don't know if you saw the end of it, Jeff, but
I did. I had Scotty outright and top 5, and Siwoo outright and top 5. That was my sole position.
Well, we loved Siwoo outright. But
Siwoo should have won.
We also liked Scheffler. Yeah, I know. We also love Scheffler outrights. By the way, Siwoo's playing so well. You look at his last.
I was going to ask you: is this a tournament now that he's played too many weeks in a row, and so now it's like, or
look, you're on a heater. You want to keep it going.
I feel like he hits like 7. I think he's good.
But we were also pro Scotty, and it looked like he was toast after round 1, and it's amazing.
So did Siwoo, right? Siwoo and Scotty both looked terrible, and those were my only positions. Were top 5 and outright on both of them. I'm like, I'm not even getting anything to watch anything this weekend. And then Sunday, I was like, Sunday was like pretty fun. If literally,
We we added a little Scheffler after round 2, but then faded him after round 3. And we had Matsuyama pre-tournament, and Siwoo. But yeah, but the big problem was we had laid 100,000 on Goddard to not win and birdieing 5 of his last 6.
I will say Siwoo in person, like from a long way off, I thought
You thought he was a white guy.
Well, no, that's not the issue. I don't see race, obviously, but he
You don't
just
see
like,
color?
beefy. He beefed up, man. He's like stocky. He's almost
bigger.
Uncle Siwoo now. But I think it's pure muscle. I'm hoping.
Maybe he got
Probably.
the best of Sungjae's game too.
Whatever happened to Sung JM? I feel like he's not relevant.
I don't know. I mean, is Willie Wilcox still on his bag?
Do you guys like anything in the pro-am?
I believe we do.
What's your position in the pro-am?
We're on the
You
AMs.
want to pull it? You want to pull it up?
We're on all the AMs. We're fading all the pros.
They should allow betting on like which pro-am team wins.
I mean,
So then
Well,
be
then it
like,
wouldn't be
I'm gonna fade the Bill Murray squad.
why would you do that? You
I don't know. Because he's old.
It's hurtful.
Sadly, we continue to be on Colin Morikawa.
Well, yeah, I mean Morikawa seems like
He
seems like he's not very happy playing golf right now either.
Well, that happens when you're not
Because he's
playing.
not very good at it. So
I know. I mean, you saw the highlight of that chip on whatever hole it was in the first round that he just duffed.
in the business, we call that a low light. So
Yeah.
it wasn't a highlight.
I mean, I think maybe one reason we like him though is that, we know the level he can play at when he's playing well.
Right.
And also he is an elite iron player. And I mean, it's kind of,
He's always like
He
a hot putter away from winning a tournament, right? Is
yeah.
that the theory?
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, mentally his demeanor just doesn't seem like he has any confidence right now. But I was going to say someone like him and Straka are both guys that struggle around the green, but when you win a tournament, you're not missing that many greens. Or if you're in contention to win a tournament, you're not missing that many greens. So it kind of mitigates it. So it's like the worse Colin's ball striking is, the worse he's going to seem, or the like
He's more one-dimensional.
yeah, it's going to magnify the flaws in his game in other areas because he's going to be hitting more chips. He's going to be hitting more greenside bunker shots, etc.
Assuming that you guys believe that Rory and Scotty are cut above everyone else, is that true?
I laid Rory no.
No, I'm just saying in general as a golfer. I'm not saying this tournament because this is the first time Rory's played, right? In a while. Did he? So
Yeah.
When did he play last?
Has he played?
Did he not play in like Dubai or anything like that?
He did.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he always does.
well, okay, but assuming that those two are out of the picture, who would you pick like as your top pick to win a major this year?
Oh, to win a major.
I think Tommy will win again. That's my pick.
John Rahm.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Pat Reed. He's hot, man.
Patrick Reed is seriously like, I mean, he's won twice out of the last 3 weeks, and the other one, the non-win, was the second place.
Well, you have like a soft spot in your heart for Patrick Reed, I feel like.
No, I mean, I think he's a cheater, but I
Well, now he's
admire
going to be on the pod.
I admire his.
I'm not going to have him on the pod.
I do think he is mentally stronger than most golfers on the PGA Tour, though.
Well, I think if you're like a sociopath, right, it's really easy to be mentally strong because you never get down.
Yeah, but I think
now we call him a cheater.
He's got kind of the
sociopath.
Koepka in him, though, too, where he can kind of face those big moments, and can bring out the best in him in a way that that Rory just doesn't have that in him.
What would you take? What odds would you need to get to take Koepka to win a major in the
This year?
no ever?
Ever? He's what, 33 maybe now? A little older?
I think he's an old 33 too. He's like
Yeah.
his body is like I'm a young 53, so he's an old 33.
Let me think. Okay, so I would make, clearly he'd be worse than 99 to 1, worse than 100 to 1. Like I made him.
I love that you think about now everything in terms of betting markets. You're like the 1 cent, the
Well, think
half
about,
percent.
okay, what I'm trying to price it, what you want to think about is how many majors he's going to play and what the average probability of him winning is or not winning, right? Because if let's say he has a window of like 20 more majors, if he's got a 1% chance of winning each of them, what's 0.99 to the 20th, you know? I mean, 0.99 is also right now going to be way understating his odds of not winning a major, but
I mean, what do you think he is to win any
then
major?
you got to assume that he may miss some majors due to injury at some point.
Would you say 150 to 1?
I would take him at 150 to 1 to win another major for sure.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about to win any major.
Because like you could get him at 100. Yeah.
What? No, in any like just generic major right now, without thinking about course fit, whatnot. What is Brooks? What is Brooks? You buy him at 200 to 1?
No, I wouldn't buy. I would probably say somewhere around 200 to 1, but
As I said, you buy him at 200 to 1.
at the same time, like we're
think
looking at
that'd
who
be
he is
fair.
right now, and who he is right now isn't
Right.
well, he struck the ball really well at Torrey, I'll say that. But he also hadn't played in a while, so I kind of expect with more repetitions and
He's not playing
more.
this week, right? Because he's
No, it's an elevated event.
yeah.
But I think getting into the rhythm, I expect like he's going to be playing better. I think that kind of is what happens in general.
Will he be in a group at the Masters Calcutta? Certainly, he'll be in a group. He won't be top 50.
Not top 50.
GR, right?
Here's a question for you. What do you think his lowest odds will be? Meaning, what's the most likely he will be to win an individual major entering a tournament in his career from here on out? Like,
One,
not what he's well, because actually
That's
that's
so deflated by.
okay.
one,
But what do you think his true odds? Like, not what he's offered necessarily, but like what it should be. Because I mean, it's like if Tiger Woods enters a major,
his lowest or his highest?
what's going to be the most likely he will be to win a major going into a major? Like, do we think there will be
Real
any
odds like
the over under?
150 to 1?
You don't think
No.
he'll ever be better than
I
150
think
to
it'll be
1?
better
Oh,
than
I think
100 to
so.
1. I was gonna say like 80 to 1, maybe.
If I had to send an over under, I'd probably say something like 80 to 1.
I guess it's what he's like
Yeah.
2 years removed from being in contention at the Masters.
And he is like, he breaks the model in terms of the dude steps up for big events where
Yeah, but he's just getting older now. It's like this is like who's undefeated? Father Time,
yeah,
undefeated.
Justin Rose is defeating Father Time. So
Yeah,
That's
seriously.
true. That's true. Maybe Father Time isn't undefeated anymore.
yeah.
But he's no Justin Rose, man.
But
That guy's lived a harder life than
kind
Justin
of-
Rose has.
I kind of like Brooks in ways because I think he was honest. He said that he fell back in love with the game, and I kind of believe it because I always thought that he always seemed like he was too cool for school and wanted to be playing baseball instead or something. And he's like, now I have my son and I can, play with him and
Yeah, but then don't we go to the narrative? Now he wants to hang out with his kid all the time and he doesn't want to practice golf.
I don't know. I think that you go, I mean, look, I'm obviously not a professional athlete, but I am a professional bettor. And I think you kind of go through these peaks and valleys a little bit where of motivation. And there's times when you're sort of like going through the motions and you're like, yeah, like this isn't as important to me. And then there's times when you feel really motivated. And there's times when you really appreciate the process. And I think
that
like
would be
this,
a good podcast name.
Appreciate the process.
Appreciate the process.
can we just have a bunch
It
of
could be
spin-off
all about
podcasts
gratitude. What?
and appreciate the process, bet the
They have to have
process.
different hosts.
Yeah,
Eat the
it has to be not
process.
Rufus
I don't
or I.
know.
We're not very appreciative. We're the opposite of appreciative.
I'll say though about Brooks, like if you're paying the fine that he paid and basically just eating crow to come back to the tour, like you want it. You're not just phoning it in.
And the fine, like people are like the fine wasn't very big, but it's the fact that he isn't going to get the equity
Yeah, that's a big fine.
share thing.
Talk about Liv. Is Liv
Proud guy.
done?
I think it's dying gasps. I wouldn't give it more than a few years. I mean, they have the money to keep it going forever, but like it's
they're-
like Brendan Steele over there teeing it up against.
Elvis Smiley won last week.
Yeah, well, he's actually good.
He beat John Rahm, who we had an outright on. John Rahm got another second place in a live event. He's very good at that.
I forgot
He's the
that
Jim
still
he's the
exists.
Jim Furyk of the Live Tour.
Oh my God. I'm gonna tell him you said that.
So,
Uh,
but I was going to say this though, like think about like I appreciate the Super Bowl betting, and it's something that I know on Jack's Super Stream I said I don't know how long I'll do it, but there is this like
well, how do you feel now, right now? Like, how long are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do it next
but
year?
like I joined forces with Zach for the Super Bowl because it's like it's fun. It's like old times, and it's something that I appreciate. I appreciate the process of it.
Appreciate the
And
process.
no, and I think that as you get older, you start to realize like I
It's
think you
actually
start
not a
to
bad name for a podcast because, like, what like you do get to a point where you do appreciate the process. That's essentially what you're saying.
yeah, I mean, I think that there's a time where you're very like achievement oriented, and then there's a time like if you truly love something where you realize like that the process maybe is more important. Like I think about these college basketball lifer coaches. I mean, like Coach K was coach for a gazillion years, like a Jim
Izzo's
Boeheim,
still going.
Tom Izzo. It's there's this rhythm to it. I feel like they probably find comforting. Every year is different. You're not gonna you don't have a realistic chance to win the national title every single year, and there's so much variance, unlike something like the NBA where you have 7 game series. March Madness is one loss and you're out. But I think I used to wonder how those guys could do it for so long and not just be like and keep motivated. But now I mean I think it is just an appreciation for it. Even if it doesn't look like Tom Izzo is ever appreciating anything on the sidelines.
What are you guys gonna do? Like, I feel like I'm surprised you guys aren't on a golf trip somewhere. Are you guys gonna do a golf trip? What is the?
Funny
Well,
story.
it is a funny story. I don't.
Well,
Yeah, we
we
said
we are going on a golf. I don't think we should. There was a bit of a mix up with the dates. That's all. We'll
in
leave
the
it at
mix and the
that.
Did
mix
they
up
move
wasn't
the
my
Super
It
fault
Bowl
this
wasn't
time.
Rufus's
It
fault.
wasn't my yeah.
They
But
moved
we're
the Super
going.
Bowl. Super
What?
Bowl is supposed to be a different date.
Yeah, the Super Bowl was supposed to be a
No,
different
for
date. So
for
we bet
we're
on the wrong one. We bet on next year's Super Bowl. So it's a lot of pending bets. 4 million tied up in call sheet for
God
here.
damn it. Yeah.
No, no, no. We're going to Hawaii. We were supposed to be going next week, but we're going the week after.
But we're in Hawaii going.
Maui.
What? I mean, why don't you tell me this? Like, we Kapalua is our course. Where are you guys gonna
Well,
play?
McKenna.
Oh, you're gonna play McKenna with Shane.
Yeah.
Got it. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
You're just gonna
But
play McKenna?
I think probably. Right?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll play like Wailea, but I mean, I played there last year with him. I mean, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's where I played with John Rahm. McKenna.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Shane plays with John all the time.
All the time.
I know I'm jealous. But
Who else is going? That sounds like fun.
the two of us, one of his guys, um, with his
One of his
operation,
traders.
one of his traders,
TRAITORS.
and then Golden Pants is coming
Oh.
too. So it's gonna be a little meeting of the minds in terms of prediction market making. And then
I'm just imagining Shane hanging out with you guys.
Shane's the one that invited us.
Oh man.
What was he
He
thinking?
must know what he's getting into.
Yeah.
He's golfed with both of us before.
Yeah.
The other thing is, so our sister just had a baby today.
Oh wow.
Hours,
like
Congratulations.
literally
You
hours
guys are
ago.
uncles.
Yeah.
Do we not,
We
still
don't
not know the name yet?
Same, but it's a girl.
She's a
Are we allowed to talk about your personal life? Or are we leaving that out?
We're allowed to talk about Tom's or mine.
I don't know. What's going on in Tom's?
I don't have a personal life. It's all professional for me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
all
I've
fit-
trained him well.
I mean, everyone loves to hear about your dating life, Rufus. I mean, and this is sort of a lifestyle episode. So we're
Okay. I mean, like I'm sort of back together. Well, trying to make things work with my ex-fiance. We are exploring getting back together. Yeah.
That's better than being back together with your future ex-wife. So there you go.
If we get engaged, if we get engaged again, I'm going to be able to
Did she
refer
listen to
to
this podcast? Because I feel like,
nah, not anymore.
yeah.
I'm going to be able to refer to her as my ex-fiance if we ever get engaged again.
Your ex, hey, double negative. So that means, but if she would always be your ex fiance if she became your fiance. But then when you got married, would she still be your ex fiance?
She'd ex again.
When you're married, somebody is your ex.
Yeah.
No, well,
you should just refer to Jeff. You should refer to Catherine as your ex fiance because she used to be your fiance and she's now your wife.
There you go.
See how that goes.
I'm sure that'll be great. Anything else, guys? This is fun. It's always great to see you guys, and I'm glad you guys had a good Super Bowl.
Well, I want to know what you have coming up, Jeff.
I'm actually going to Wahoo on Saturday. I'm struggling right now, guys, with flag football, and mostly struggling because it is so hard to get 8-year-olds to focus long enough to learn a play. So I have simplified the playbook down to one formation, 6 plays. And what's interesting about this is like the plays should all work, like they are all well designed, but to get 8-year-olds to actually focus long enough to understand where they're supposed to line up, where they're supposed to go. And then once you do that, they need to be able to understand how to run the play effectively, like to basically like sprint into things. And then we have we have quarterbacks, and our the last game that we played, we actually came back and we were down by 2 scores. We got up by a point, and then they started blitzing our quarterbacks, and our quarterbacks kept staring at the blitzer as they came in. And I'm like, this is it literally felt like the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl.
It sounds like I was going to say. It sounds like you taught them to be like Drake May in the pocket.
The Super Bowl felt like a flag football game because even those slow developing handoffs to Travion Henderson, that looked like a flag football game where the kids don't even know you're supposed to get the ball going full speed. So I have that. The Sloan. I was talking to you guys about Sloan. Who would you guys want to hear on a golf panel besides the people I talked about? Like, would you want to hear Lou Stagner? Who would you want to hear? Would you want to hear Scott Fawcett? Would you guys want to hear Brian Rolap? Who would you want to hear?
That's a good question. And
I don't have a great answer. I would say probably not Scott.
You want to hear Fawcett? You'd want to hear Corshane though, right? Be interested.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I've already talked to all these people, so like it's
Okay, but
are you interested? Here's a real question.
Who would you got to say who would somebody want to hear? Not who would I?
Okay. What I want to know, Rufus and Tom, is would you guys be interested in doing analytics work for golfers?
I mean, I would, and I don't know if you know this, Jeff, but I actually, this was back in 2016, 2017.
I know you better than like any human in the world. Of course, I know you.
You know me better than your wife?
No, I'm saying I know you better than other people know you. I know you did work. That's why I asked you. Are you interested in doing it again? Because I could have business for you. That's my point.
Yes, I'm interested. I think
depending with a professional better.
That's always the problem.
PGA.
But that's not. I mean, we could have a beard for you to be the consultant.
Do it through.
You can just send somebody else the stuff and they say it to them.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, we could do that. I mean, I'm close with a golf agent now, and I was mentioning that there's people out there that could help, him, and he was very interested. So,
yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be very cool.
All right,
I'm very curious to hear who it is.
The golf agent?
No, the player.
Oh well, he has a few different players, so it's not just one player.
Even more interesting.
Well, we don't want to give it away now.
Okay.
It was great to have intrigue. What do you guys? Okay. Well, anything else, guys? Anything looking forward to? So going to Maui next week, playing some McKenna.
We're going back to the East Coast to see our niece. We're now first time uncles.
Are you going to come to Sloan, or you're not going to?
I asked if I'll be there. I don't have a ticket, but I'm sure I'll find a way. Right.
I'll hang out.
I love that you say, "I'm sure you'll find a way." Right.
There's always a way.
What's the way?
The way is Jeff Ma normally.
You ask like that. You're like alluding that there's a way that isn't me. But I'm sure there is a way that isn't me, but that's the way you usually go with. Well, I'm planning on the normal dinner, so
Amazing.
And our friend
Excited for that.
Tom's really good friend Shane Battier is going to be at the event also. So I haven't reached out to him yet about coming to the dinner.
I love Shane. Shane is such a fun hang.
He's a good dude, and he's like he's like a golf nerd. He's like he's like Pine Valley and Seminole. So
I know.
Never been. You guys have never been invited. What gives?
Pine Valley. He always alludes that he'll see now. Like Shane Battier is a guy that I feel really comfortable talking about on this podcast because there's no effing way he listens to it. So
that's true.
It's the people that there's like maybe a tiny chance that they listen to it that I wouldn't talk about it. But Shane's not listening to this podcast.
Not one of the 7.
He's definitely not one. Have you talked to our friend Michael Lewis in a while if we're doing some name dropping?
I mean, texted a few months ago, maybe. I don't know. Nothing recent. I mean, you're his neighbor. Did you go? Have you been hiking lately?
I haven't been hiking lately. His son, I believe, graduated. Right, Walker graduated last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
But he's not going to the school near me anymore. Where did he end up going to school? Do we know?
I don't know.
All right. Well, maybe we'll get Michael on to talk about, and we're gonna have Jacob Fortinsky on pretty soon.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, he's the founder of NoVig, and then we get to hear all about NoVig.
I've heard about that website.
All right, we're just babbling now. Okay, love you guys. Enjoy Hawaii. We'll talk to you guys all again soon. Bet the process.